Hey everybody, Creepy Girl here. Got a couple movie reviews and going to talk a little bit about horror TV. First movie I want to talk about is called Bone Tomahawk. This is a westerny kind of movie with Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Sid Haig, David Arquette. Um, what's that other guy's name? Can't remember. Something Matthew Fox. Uh, this movie, it has a basic plot. It's just this guy's wife and this other guy get abducted by Indians, so they set out across the west to go rescue them. And like, they have this weird thing that the husband has a broken leg and is going to travel, it's the old west, so they're on a horse in the middle of desert and all that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of this really long trip to find them. And that part's kind of boring. I don't know. It just wasn't really a lot to it. It just like conversation and witty stuff. So I don't know. That part was kind of like yawn. But when they finally find the Indians and everything starts to happen, there's a really big payoff scene. Really big. Like, oh my God. That kind of scene. So that kind of made the movie kind of really good. So it's, you know, it was an enjoyable movie. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I mean, I kept like thinking to myself, when's something going to happen? When's something going to happen? But then when it happened, it was like, wow. But then the end was kind of like, really? That's the end? Like, you going to finish the story here? So, I was kind of like, You, you kind of got to see it because the payoff part is so good. Like, it's so good. And it's so extreme. And it's so like, oh my God. So that part, it kind of made the movie for me. So Bone Tomahawk. That's Bone Tomahawk. Okay, there was two movies I watched on Netflix. One was called Let Us Pray. That took place in a police station. There was like a rookie cop, and then she had all these new cops she was working with. Well, they all had like some horrible thing that they did or whatever, and of course this stranger shows up and redemption and all that kind of stuff. It was a pretty good movie. The pace was pretty good. There was things happening, unlike Bone Tomahawk, and it things unravel, and but it didn't really show a lot. Like, the horrible things could have been more shown. I mean, for someone like me, like a gore horror and a horror fanatic person, I would have liked to seen more of the bad stuff that they did in a little more detail. But other than that, it really was a good movie. It had a big climactic ending and everything. So that was a pretty good flick. Let Us Pray. It starred Liam Cunningham too, from my favorite movie, Dog Soldiers. So that made it that much better. Okay, another movie I watched on Netflix called Stung. Now, this is like a bug flick about killer wasps. And, it was kind of goofy and had a little bit of fun and comedy in it. But, I don't know, it's one of those things that you're kind of saying through the whole movie, like, really? That, like that? How'd they get so big like that fast, and like things like that. And then there's kind of this crazy endings that's like you're just like, really? But I don't know. I mean, it was kind of fun, but I know a lot of people over analyze this movie and be like, this is ridiculous. But it's just one of those goofy, I mean, you could probably throw this in with Zombievers and Sharknado. I mean, I like those movies better, but this one, I mean, it was fun. If you're into bug flicks and everything, you might enjoy this. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but I just kind of questioned a lot of things just because I've seen a million bug movies, you know. I like there to be a little bit of logic to it. I mean, I know monster movie, you know, of course it's not real, but I want there to be like some kind of explanation, and they didn't really have that. Okay, so that's STUNG. Bah, done with that one. Okay, another movie I watched that was really good was called The HALLOW, and this, like, a family moves into the this new house, and the guy is like out in the forest. He's a scientist, and they keep telling him, don't go into the HALLOW. If you go into the HALLOW and you trespass on the HALLOW, then the HALLOW is going to trespass on you, and it's going to take the thing that you love the most. And of course they have a child, so that is what's in danger. Now they're talking about fae and, you know, the beings of the HALLOW, and but the scientist actually, you know, has a scientific explanation, so it's kind of not really, I don't know, like you're kind of left to wonder, you know, was the scientific explanation, or, you know, what really is going on. But it's very creepy. It's very creepy. And then it has that moment where they have to make a decision, and if they make the wrong decision, you know, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible if they make the wrong decision. So very suspenseful, you know, these creatures are just chasing them. And so that was a pretty good creature flick. I like that one, The HALLOW. And not the hollow, but the HALLOW with an A, HALLOW. I like that one. So watch out for that one. That should be coming out soon. Another movie I watched, which was really, I hate to be mean, but I usually don't review movies I hate, but this movie was so dumb. Like, sometimes it makes me mad that they make movies like this. Like, it insults my intelligence. I mean, it's my intelligent. That's makes me sound really intelligent. But it's a zombie movie. It's called Zombie World. So of course I wanted to watch it because I love zombie movies, and I've seen a bazillion zombie movies. There's a lot out there, trust me. There's like new ones that come out every week. But this one is just like so, like, matter of fact. It started off kind of good. Like the first 5 minutes were kind of crazy and humorous, because it's supposed to be kind of a comedy. And, you know, I really had hope for it in the first 5 minutes. I was like, wow, this looks crazy. I can't wait to, you know, I'm glad I'm watching it. And then it cuts to like this news guy, and he's like telling you, oh, zombie outbreaks all over the world. Here's a zombie outbreak in Australia. So they go to Australia, and it's like this, such a simple little skit that's so matter-of-fact zombie that it's like, okay, like, I don't know, it's just like too simple. And there are different directors like doing each skit. So I looked up some of these directors because I think these must be first-time directors or maybe fifth graders, I don't know. But they're actual like people that have been involved in big movies, and I'm like, really? Like, there's nothing unusual, nothing crazy. It's just so, like, one story is just a simple plot, like the woman is saying help me because her husband is sick, and then by the time they get there he's turned into a zombie, and then they kill him, and then they try to get help, and then she turns into a zombie, and then she attacks them. But that's it. There's no weirdness, nothing crazy, just basic zombie stuff that happens in every movie. And then it's trying to be funny, like saying things like, how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And they're like, use a bicycle seat. And I'm like, a bicycle seat? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, how is that funny? And it just, if you're a big zombie fan, there's no way you're gonna like this. I really don't think. Now, if you've never seen zombie movies and you're not a big zombie movie person, then maybe you'll find humor in this and maybe you'll like it. But it was just so like nothing was it just was like the most basic zombie stuff happening in it that I was just like, no. I was like, felt like I wasted my time watching it. I really hated it. Okay, and that's Zombie World. Now, that's just my opinion. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, maybe if you guys watch it, you'll like it. I don't know, but I hated it. Okay, so then there's this other movie I watched, Suburban Gothic. And this is like a quirky little film, and there's going to be people that don't like it and people that like it, but I liked it. I mean, it's just a goofy little ghost story. And, you know, the characters, I really liked the characters in it. They had really funny characters, and I liked the characters. So it's not like a big action flick or gore flick or anything like that. And it's not hilarious, but it was funny and I liked the characters, so I really enjoyed the movie. I would say like it's a quirky little film, and that's Suburban Gothic. Not a lot to say about that. It's just, it's one of those little films. Okay, so that's my reviews. Short and quick. Try not to give spoilers. And that's it. So I wanted to talk about Walking Dead. So Walking Dead. All right. First I want to talk about last week's, because I didn't talk about last week's with the whole Morgan thing. I enjoyed the episode. I did not like the episode, but it was bullcrap. This guy is saying that this crazy murderer killed his wife and daughter, and then he killed the murderer, and he felt no satisfaction from it, and it didn't prove nothing. So that proves that you should just forgive everybody, and peace is, you know, what you should do. Like, really? Really? The guy murdered your wife and kid, and you killed him, and you felt like that was wrong? Like, no, I'm not buying it. And so now, oh yeah, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen last week's or this week's, because I try not to do like big spoilers, but you know, I might spoil it a little bit for you. But I just think, and so now Morgan's got one of the wolves, and he thinks he can save the wolf. And I mean, that guy even says to Morgan that he knew there was no saving this guy, that there was no saving him. And then the guy, you know, because that's his job, was to help reform criminals. But then he couldn't save this guy, and this guy broke out and killed his family. Okay? So he telling Morgan this, and then here's this wolf that he already tried to save, and then he killed people, and he's still trying to save them. And it's just bull crap. Like, what is this? And now, I don't know. I have this feeling, because I really still think that Glenn is alive. I just think that Walking Dead does not miss an opportunity, like, to like take our heart and just go like this to it and stomp on it and just make us cry. Like, they can't miss an emotional moment. So Glenn and Maggie's love story is like, it's the only real love story on here, the biggest one. And they're not gonna just let him die somewhere and nobody knows. Like, I don't know. I just don't see them doing that. Like, his death has to be something really emotional, like something where, you know, he's going to turn into a zombie and she has to kill him, or, you know, something. And I had two kind of theories about it. I was thinking maybe, you know, if he's alive, that he's going to either, you know, he's going to be bitten or something, and he makes it back, and then, you know, he makes it back just to say goodbye to her, and then she has to kill him because he's a zombie. But I think too much time has passed for that. So that theory is kind of dead in the water. But my other theory is, like, I know in the comic books they say that, like, supposedly I think one of the wolves kills him with a baseball bat or something. So what if he did survive? You know, he went under the dumpster, a loud noise distracted all the zombies. So he makes it back alive. Him and Maggie have this reunion. Oh, yeah, you know, oh, I love you and blah, blah, blah. Spoiler, spoiler. In tonight's episode, we heard that she was pregnant. So, oh, we're having a baby. Oh, I love you and blah, blah, blah. And then that stupid wolf that Morgan packed away gets out and kills Glenn. So, boom. There you have your big emotional moment. But, I don't know. I don't know, like, I'm thinking that this is definitely something that's either going to happen at the very end of the season or when the season comes back. I think they're going to really jerk us around for a while. I hope they don't do that, because they usually don't. They usually close things up quick, so we'll see. So on tonight's episode anyway, I don't know what all this crap about love was, where all these people had to be kissing and falling in love. I guess, I don't know. Maybe if the zombies were closing in, like, my last thoughts would be like, man, I gotta have some sex right now because I'm probably gonna die and never have sex again. I don't know. Maybe that was their thought. But, you know, it's kind of like this episode was where the Alexandria people are finally figuring out, like idiots. They're like retarded. Like, what has to happen to make them understand the severity of the situation? This is what I want to know. Because, I mean, Rick, pretty much everything that's happened is pretty much, if you listen to Rick in the first place, you know, the guy knows what he's doing. Listen to Rick. He knows what he's doing. Is it that hard to figure out? And what I didn't understand, so they're surrounded by zombies. So Rick says, okay, everybody, the best thing to do is we've got to all go back to our houses. We've got to turn off the lights and we've got to be quiet. We've got to be quiet with no sound. And then eventually these zombies, they're not going to hear nothing. They're going to move away. Or, you know, Daryl and them are going to come and draw them away, but we can't have any noise. So what happens after that? I don't know. She decides to dig a grave right by the fence where they can hear her. Carl and the other guy have an argument right by the fence where the zombies can hear them. Rick takes the guy up and tells him, oh, yeah, let's have some shooting practice. And, you know, the other lady's arguing with her son, and he's screaming. And it's like, what part of shut the up did you guys not understand? Like, we want the zombies to go away. We got to be quiet. And then what does everybody do? Just make a lot of noise? Like, does that make sense? Like, I didn't understand this episode. And then when the lady, you know, the older lady, I can't even remember her name, but the head girl gets the zombie and finally gets her zombie kill. It's like she's stabbing him in the stomach. Like, what? Like, where have you been? Like, there wasn't zombies? Like, you don't know to shoot him in the head? Like, really? I mean, this is what I'm saying. And these people are so... I mean, the scene with the food thing where he's just like, oh, we might as well just take all the food because we're going to die anyway. Like, okay, emo city. Like, really? Okay, zombies are surrounding us, so we're just going to die. Well, let me tell you something. Rick and his friends have been in worse situations, and guess what? They're still alive. Okay? And Rick told you to shut the F up and be quiet, and these guys will come and save us, or maybe the zombies will go away, and you're just all, oh, we're just gonna die. Let's eat all the food, because we're just gonna die anyway. I mean, it's like ridiculous. Like, I don't know. This episode was just like dumb people episode. That's what I think this episode should be called. Like, Alexandria people are really dumb. That's what this episode should have been called. Okay. I can't go on and on. This video is getting too long. But I just want to say, Ash vs. Evil, freaking amazing. It is hilarious. Bruce Campbell is amazing, and it would not be amazing if he wasn't in it, because he is amazing, and his humor is hilarious. The music in it is just fabulous. I love the music. I love the gore. The blood is over the top. Like, I love it. And it's just, it looks so much like the original Evil Dead. Like, I really feel like Sam Raimi's really doing justice to the series, and I love, love, love it. If you're not watching the Ash vs. Evil Dead, oh my god, you're so crazy. It is hilarious, and I can't wait for my friends to see it. I'm going to make them all watch it because it's amazing. And American Horror Story, it's getting crazy. I actually had a scene that kind of reminded me of the movie Cooties, because where the kids all, the stupid doctor gets one infected, and he infects all the kids, and there's a rampage in the school. So that was pretty cool. I really like that in American Horror Story. And Scream Queens, I don't know. This story's getting kind of, it's breaking apart. I don't know. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep watching it just because I love all the characters. They're hilarious. So I'm going to keep watching, but I don't know where they're going with this. I really don't. It's kind of, it's, I don't know. It's getting kind of weird, but I still want to know what happens. So I'm sticking with Scream Queens. I'm going to do it. So I think that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope this wasn't too long. I had a bunch of movies I saw, so I wanted to get them all in, and I had a rant about Walking Dead for a little bit. So look under your bed, pull your covers up tight, dream of monsters and creepy girl tonight, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.